majority. But what happened was the opposite. There were just 4 coalitions against them. As I said, Japan hadn't a chance of flying because of Chinese opposition, encouraged by most of the other states of Southeast Asia who asked China to veto any Japanese possibility of getting on. Germany had annoyed the Bush White House because of its outspoken criticism of the Gulf War. So Berlin was told no beating about the Bush, that it wouldn't get American support. Of course, the Americans told the Japanese that they thought Japan should have a position because the Americans knew that China was going to veto it, so it wasn't going to get on in any case, but you might as well keep your relationship with Japan on a friendly footing. Germany was also opposed by, in particular, the Italians, the idea of 3 European powers being on the Security Council, not Italy. This is a kind of nightmare in Rome politics. And even when I, my colleague Bruce Russet, and a team of scholars who commissioned which produced our 1995 report on the long-term future of the United Nations, called the United Nations in its second half century, when we proposed there should be some additions to the permanent veto members on the Security Council. We didn't name names, but we said it should recognize both financial contribution, that's a code word for Germany and Japan, the third and second largest contributors to the budget, and regional distribution from the south. That was a code word for Brazil, India, possibly South Africa. Wherever we went, even if it was to, a Saturday afternoon, League of Women Voters somewhere in upstate Connecticut, the Italian ambassador was right down there. It was his mission to track us and make sure the objections were there. More often than not, the Pakistan ambassador was there. Pakistan mobilized all of its fellow Muslim states to indicate they would vote against India being on the permanent veto council. In Latin America, Mexico, Venezuela, and Argentina in particular were extremely critical of the notion that Brazil could be regarded as the regional spokes country for them. So the third in line, dogging myself and Bruce Russet all over, was the very, very able Mexican permanent representative to the Security Council. In fact, it was the former Mexican Foreign Minister, Manuel Tello. He resigns from the Foreign Ministry to go to the General Assembly, to be there to make sure that sufficient blocks are put in the way. I think you can see the way I'm going. There was one other interesting, South Africa, if its name ever came up, Nigeria and Egypt contested immediately. There was no such thing as regional solidarity. The other interesting group were those of independent small states which were self-sufficient, that they didn't need US AID or any sorts of bribes like that, like Singapore, which didn't like the idea of high table existing in any case. And it used to say with some validity, it's bad enough having 5 of you guys being able to stick, put a stick in the spokes, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we are going to oppose that. We're going to oppose any more. 5 is too many.